Greetings from Shearwater Health. My name's Nathan King. I lead our global recruitment team here at Shearwater, and we are preparing to come to the United Kingdom and Ireland to meet with some nurses. I'm joined here with Sarah Cobb.
Hello, I'm Sarah. I am the Director of Nurse Recruitment Operations for Shearwater Health, and I'm very much looking forward to coming to the UK and Ireland in a couple weeks.
We're also joined by Winnie Fritz.
Hi, hello everybody. I'm Winnie, and I am a nurse. My career has been in nursing. Began as a U.S. Army nurse, and then since that time have been a chief nurse or a CEO of hospitals here in the U.S. and also overseas.
What are you most excited about in meeting the nurses that will be visiting with us in the UK and Ireland?
I am so anxious to meet the nurses and talk with each one individually about his or her career, about some of the education experiences they've had. And also through those meetings, I always have a chance to learn more about that healthcare system. So it's a great opportunity to meet these fine professional nurses and also to learn about their careers and where they're working today.
Well put, Winnie, and it reminds me hearing you talk that I can think of recruitment events that you and I did in the Philippines in 2002, where you would meet the nurse and get to know them, and there'd be a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, and then several years later, you would be watching them go to the United States, and it's just really gratifying to be there at the beginning of the journey.
You two have been on several recruitment trips together. This will only be my second one, but I remember being in Jamaica and feeling the excitement with all of the nurses who are there, hoping that this is the start of the next step in their career. And it's so much fun to be able to guide the nurses through that process and kind of meet them and feel that energy, and it's very addictive to be able to be a part of that. So
you mentioned being there in Jamaica, and can you talk a little bit to the nurses who will be coming to let them know, what is it a formal event? You know, how casual is it? What should they expect?
Well, like any business setting, you should come prepared to talk about your career and, dress in a way that would be impressive to someone that you could potentially be working for. But that said, we are there to be friendly faces. We want to get to know them on a personal level. We want to share with them about Shearwater, learn about them not only as a clinician, but as a person, what their dreams are, what they want for their families. So it shouldn't be an intimidating event. It should be a place where you feel like you can ask questions that you have, get to know us, get to know what Shearwater's about, figure out what life's really like in the United States. There's probably a million rumors that you've heard of what it may be like, and we can tell you because we've all lived here most of our lives. And I think overall it's a friendly atmosphere. Nathan, what would you say are some of the other benefits for a nurse at this event?
Well, I think a pretty interesting aspect is that some of the nurses who are coming are going to be able to meet other nurses who have an international interest that they've not met before. And so it's a chance for them to grow their own professional network. I could envision a scenario where nurses join a WhatsApp group after the event or create one just where they can exchange information about what their consideration is like to go to the United States. And I think it's also a really good opportunity for nurses to interview us. So why should I choose Shearwater Health to trust them with my international career? Everyone knows that nurses are in very high demand all over the world, and nurses have options, and we want them to make sure that if they choose to put their careers in the hands of Shearwater Health, that they're doing it for the right reason.
Absolutely. I think an important thing to note with that is that we are inviting some of our nurses who've already been sponsored by us to come to these events. So nurses that we've been working with for 7 years who are in the middle of their journey to the U.S., they can answer questions for these new nurses of what it's been like. Their processes will be a little bit different in some ways, but they can at least attest to what it's been like working with Shearwater.
Yeah, and I hope the nurses who are considering coming will ask them really candid, direct questions. Our nurses, we tell them, don't filter, don't try to, you don't have to sugarcoat anything. Tell them the good and tell them the challenges that you've had, because we want everyone to know exactly what they're getting into. Winnie, do you think that nurses have to be ready to go to the United States in order to attend our cocktail reception?
No, not at all. I think if it is even a thought that is passed in someone's mind and they are curious about what would a journey be like, what would the expectations be, what exams, what credentials do I need, where would I work, it may be absolutely the beginning of their exploring of an international assignment or, if you will, even a permanent move to another country. And for each of us, for each of our nurses, this has begun with that first step.
Sarah, is there anything that people should bring with them to our events?
If you're coming to the cocktail event, you really just need to bring yourself. If you want to bring your resume, you're welcome to. We also make it very easy to submit your resume to us online through one of our landing pages, which we can link to below this video.
Great. Yeah, and on our landing pages, we've got links to information about the event, and also you can find a link to Winnie's bio, who has a very impressive background in international nursing. In fact, I remember in an event that Winnie and I did in Nigeria, there was a nurse there who had read about Winnie and was just very nervous about meeting Winnie, who she had read so much about. And when Winnie walked in the door, she whispered to me, "Is that her?" and I was excited to know that she really wanted to meet Winnie. But hopefully people have seen in this little video that Winnie is not very intimidating and is very approachable and is eager to converse and share information and knowledge.
Yes.
But so we hope that you will join us in London or in Bristol or in Dublin or in all three, if you like the events that much, coming up, and let us buy you a drink and talk to us about your career goals, your career interests, and ask us all the questions you have about working in the United States as a nurse. We would love to answer your questions, and we would love to meet you. So please come join us. Sarah, now where are the events again exactly?
Sure. So our event in London is on November 14th at the Grosvenor House at 6 p.m. Our event in Bristol will be November 15th at the Bristol Marriott Royal Hotel, also at 6 p.m. And our event in Dublin will be at the Dublin Westin at 6 p.m. on November 17th. We hope to see you all there.
Great. Thank you, everyone.